What's going on, guys? Coach Ian here with Legacy Endurance, helping you run further, faster, and more focused. And this week, we're going to go further. We're going to take you into the house of pain, and we're going to get you out alive. Stick around. Alright guys, so this week I'm going to give you some advice on how you can continue to keep going when it really starts to get hard when you're running. When you're starting to suffer, when you're really thinking you need to stop, it's really starting to be painful, your lactic acid is burning, life is starting to suck at this point. How do you keep going at that point? Well, there's 3 tips I'm going to give you, and the first one is to lift yourself up and get your chest out, because one of the things I see happen a lot of times, myself included, is when I start to really get tired, when you really start to fatigue, when you start to really suffer, a lot of times we drop our head, we roll our shoulders in, we're looking down, we're really sort of altering our posture. Some of that is sort of like core strength, but some of that is just sort of really starting to get inside yourself. And what's happening there is we're actually closing off our oxygen, we're closing off our lungs, we're closing off that chest. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you get your head up. Even if you do that, it really starts to signal to the rest of your body. Get up, stay up, be focused, calm down. So first thing is get the chest out, get those shoulders back, be nice and tall. I've told you guys before about the 6-inch rule. Run like you're 6 inches taller than you really are. So be nice and tall, make sure that you're up, and don't let yourself sort of slump in, because that really starts to affect you. So if you can do that, you'll get more oxygen, it'll help you go a little bit further, survive a little bit longer. So that's your first tip, get up. The second thing is your arms. Another thing that happens a lot of times as we start to suffer is we forget about the arm swing. And one of the things that's going to happen when you run is your feet will follow your hands. So a lot of times if I'm starting to suffer, if I'm starting to feel really tired, or I'm starting to break down, I'll really think about my arm swing, and especially my hands, making sure I'm getting a nice, sort of fluid motion with my hands and really sort of driving the arms. Not like a sprinter, but making sure you're engaging those arms, because a lot of times I find if I get my hands and my arms moving, my feet will follow. So that's the second piece of advice I'll give you, is get the hands moving. You should be doing that when you run all the time, but especially as you're starting to fatigue, a lot of times your hands stop moving, you start to really clinch up, sort of like the first thing, but we want to make sure we get those hands going, that we're driving through that stride. Your feet will follow, I promise you. So try that the next time you start to really get tired. Get your hands going, because that's going to be a big difference for you, I promise you that. My last tip for you guys this week is 30-second surges. And I often do this in a race where when you really start to get tired and you're really starting to suffer, your mind will start to take over on you. Your body's definitely starting to suffer, but your mind's also starting to convince you that it's time to stop. And one of the ways I like to sort of trick my mind is by doing 30-second surges or 30-second recoveries. I prefer doing surges, but what they are is basically counting to 30. So for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever you want, is you pick up your pace. You really think, okay, for the next 30 seconds, I'm going to surge. For the next 30 seconds, I'm just going to chill out, whatever that might be. And you count to 30. Maybe you're counting your foot strikes, maybe you're just counting, but whatever that is, you can start to count, manage through that 30 seconds, 50 seconds, whatever you want to use, and then resume back to the pace you were at. By doing that, you'll do a couple things. One is you'll help to keep your pace going. You'll keep moving forward. But the bigger thing, and the second reason why I think it really works so well, is you start to distract your mind. It gives your mind something to do besides think about how bad life is sucking at that particular moment in your race or your workout. So I really think that helps, and I find that really gets me through some tough times in races. So you can do that at any time. So think about counting backwards from 30 to 0, or maybe you're going to go for, okay, I'm going to relax for 30 seconds, then when I get to 0, I'm going to surge again, whatever that might be. Maybe you run 30 seconds at a pickup pace and then 30 seconds back to your normal pace, whatever that means to you or whatever you find works. The simple act in counting and sort of having that in your head really helps you to distract your mind from the pain that you're going through. So those are the 3 tips I'm going to give you this week. I want you guys to push yourselves forward. I want you to not quit when it starts to get hard. So I want you to try those this week. Comment below if you do. Let me know which ones you use today. Maybe you've got some other tips. What are the things you do when you really start to suffer in a run and you really want to keep going? I had a buddy of mine that said he thinks about his eyelids when he runs because that's the only thing that doesn't hurt. Whatever that might be. If it works for him, that's great. So comment below. I'd love it if you'd like this video and share it. I'd also love it if you subscribe so we can keep pushing videos out every week. Have a great week running, you guys, and we'll talk to you very soon.